coming to remote sensing. Yeah. So this is remote sensing. So let me not give you a rocket science kind of technology examples. Instead, I can give you kind of day in, day out examples. Yeah. So remote sensing, as I told, like it's a technology where like we analyze an object without being in direct contact. Yeah. So these are the elements of visual interpretation. So the shape, size, pattern, texture, shadow, and association. There's nothing rocket science. So if you go to a subji market or a vegetable market, so you buy an apple. So how do you do that? So you look into the shape. Yeah, of course, it has to be big, nice enough, round, smooth. And then size. Yeah, you look for big apples. So you won't take the small apples. Pattern. Yeah, you look for, say, some people might go for green apples. Sorry, green, it's color, but then pattern is more about like how shrink, like whether it is shrunk or it is stiff. And then texture, like people say, okay, you need to have some spots so that like it will be very sweet. And shadow, okay, I can't relate it with the subject market, but then shadow is something of like what do you say, uh there was a famous photo which was roaming in and around WhatsApp that, okay, there are some picture of elephant and its shadow at 12 noon. Like you won't get to see the elephant because it very well merges with the sand color. Sorry, it's not elephant, it's camel. Sorry, my bad. With the camel color and the sand color, but then the shadows are very much prominent. And the association. Yeah. So association is nothing but like if you go to a vegetable market, like you should be able to find apples. So that's a bare minimum guess, right? You can't find a machine gun in a vegetable market, right? So that's how you associate it. And so there are a couple of things which we often talk when it comes to remote sensing. One is always about the LiDAR. So LiDAR is light detection and ranging, which uses a laser beam, and it throws millions of laser beams, and then the return time and direction is noted, and based on the return time, it's able to find the height. And back then, like this was a costly affair, but then like you can look into Apple iPhone 12, and even they have got a LiDAR sensor now, right now. So technology is becoming advanced, and these kind of hardware equipments are becoming cheaper day by day. And other thing, what we say in remote sensing is resolution. The resolution of satellite images. So for example, Landsat is 30-meter resolution, then Sentinel is 10-meter resolution, and then there are kind of commercial satellites which have got, say, sub-meter, say even 30 centimeter. The Worldview 3 is an example of I think it's the highest resolution satellite image ever available, and it's of 30 centimeter resolution. And this is nothing but, again, a simple concept. Back then, like we had, say, 4 or 5 years before, like you had cell phones with 2 MP, which is nothing but megapixels, which is nothing but mega is 10 power 6, and that's the number of pixels you have got in a camera. And right now we can see like the megapixels are going till 48 megapixels or 100. I'm not sure, like it goes. Even now, if I search, like you can find something going beyond 200 or 300 megapixels, and that's not going to stop. But what's the key takeaway is, like what do you achieve when you take a photo in a 48 megapixel camera versus a 5 megapixel camera? It's all about details. Like even if you zoom to the closest pixel, you should be able to read the, say in this case, like in a 1 megapixel image, I won't be able to read the car's number plate, but in a 8 megapixel, I should be able to read the car's number plate. Yeah. So you're getting the concept. I hope you have got the concept. And that same applies on for the remote sensing. Remote sensing is nothing but, like, instead of having this sensor, so-called the camera, on your hand, like if you put it on your satellite, then that's called a satellite remote sensing. If you put it on a plane or a drone, it is called as aerial remote sensing. And if you're going to have it on your hand, and if you're going to scan, say, a bottle, or if you're going to scan a building, then that's called as terrestrial remote sensing or terrestrial lidars. We do have terrestrial lidars. Terrestrial lidars more or less looks like a total station. Okay. Yeah. So Yeah, so I think I have covered this topic. Yeah. So what is in geospatial technology? Yeah, before going to this, like let me give you an example of geospatial technology. Yeah, so let me open a software, GIS software called QGIS. Yeah. So the basic components of GIS are points, like this is a point, or I can get a set of points here. Yeah, so these are the set of points. And this is also say another set of points. I'll come back to this, like what these points are called. And then like, yeah, this is another set of points, say this green, red colors. And then there are lines, like, yeah, so these are all lines. I'll switch off the points for now. Yeah, these are lines. Let me show you, like I can tell you like what these lines are. By now I think you would have guessed, because like you have been using Google Maps for ages now. And then say this is polygons. So these polygons are, say this is the ward boundary or zones for Bangalore city. So I'll give you a practical example of, okay, how I use GIS technology in my day-to-day life. So this is nothing but the Google Maps, what you have got. Yeah. So this is, take this as a location of my office, for example, and I have got placed in this, say, XYZ company, and I would like to find a house in and around this company so that I can stay here, and I am completely new to Bangalore. So what I do, staying at home, what I can do is, like nowadays the data is available for free. So I collected, okay, what are the locations of bus stops, yeah, in Bangalore. Yeah. So first of all, what I did, like my intention was to stay close by to office. So I did a buffer and I took a circle. So this is my boundary. So I don't want to go beyond this circle. So this is a kind of a 5 kilometer buffer. Okay. Yeah. So if I measure this and show you, it's approximately, yeah, 10,000 meters, which is 10 kilometers of diameter and which is 5 kilometers of radius. Yeah. Yeah, so I drew a circle around this and I found, okay, what are the bus stops in and around, because like I don't have a vehicle, or might be that's the case, that okay, I need to use the public transport. So I took what are the bus stops, and then like I got a kid and I need to put my kid in a school. So I took the locations of schools. So the basic thumb rule is, like I don't want to walk uh, more than 10 minutes from the bus stop to reach any of, I need to have a house which is 10 minutes walkable from bus stop. And also like I need to have a school which is, say, 5 minutes walkable, so that like my mom or my wife can drop my kid in the school. So what I did a 250-meter buffer of the schools, say 100 meters buffers of the school. And then I did 250 meters, roughly equating that, okay, 250 meters I'll be able to cover in 10 minutes, and 100 meters my mom will be able to cover in 5 minutes. So I did these kind of buffers. And what I did was a spatial join, a spatial intersection of these points. And yeah, so, and these are the polygons under which like I can find houses. So if you look into the satellite image, yeah, so these are the polygons, and I can tell you this is the apartment where I am staying, and this is close by to the bus stop, and I have got a school here. So this is a small GIS analysis which I've done in an intelligent way to find, okay, find a house in Bangalore. Yeah. So I hope you got the context, and you can replace these offices and schools and bus stops with any number of parameters. Say if you want to do, say I can bring it to a kind of a, if you want to relate it this to hydrology or well monitoring. So you would like to monitor a well for the groundwater potential. So you can replace these points. Of course, the points are going to remain the same, but just that instead of bus stop, you might need a wells location data, and also say industries data, so that like you don't get to find the well which is nearby to industry. And if you do this kind of buffer analysis, you should be able to spot the wells of your interest. So we can keep on adding layers. So as I grow, like I won't say if I want to add one more layer, which is nothing but hospital, because like my parents are getting old, so I need to find a house which is nearby to hospital, as well as for bus stop, as well as for school. Then we can keep on adding these layers together, and you can do this analysis so that like you can find the most prominent location. And I agree, like you don't need to do this on computer. You can do this on in your mind also. Like generally, like when you go for searching houses, like you'll see, okay, whether there's a hotel, so that like whether there is a restaurant, so that like I can take food in if my parents are not there, right? So that's a kind of analysis. And in fact, you are doing these kind of analysis, location based analysis in your brain automatically. That's the point I would like to tell you. Yeah. So this is a simple example for GIS. Uh, yeah. Yeah. So where is GIS technology applied? I can say it's applied everywhere, wherever you look into. Let me give you an interesting example. This is nothing but Google Map location. And I'm not sure how many people are aware of this. Google Maps do collect your location whenever you use Google Maps. And you can look into the settings of Google Maps. And if you look into the history, I'm sure like you will be able to find this right from the day you created Google account, irrespective of which phone you are using, because all are related to your Google account. And you might be surprised, okay, I have traveled to uh, I've traveled to Gujarat. I've been in Bangalore. I have been to all the parts of Tamil Nadu. But then, like, I have been to Bangkok. And what if my wife get to know that, okay, I have been to Bangkok, and that's what people get stuck, or they get caught very often if they have been to Bangkok without the knowledge of, or before the marriage. And luckily, like, I I took my wife to Bangkok, so that's not an issue for me. But then, like, this is just a real time example of, okay, how we can use this spatial data for many of the interpretation. And of course, like, you can use it in, say, for some other reasons, like, say, if you want to track a thief, the police department do use these kind of location based intelligence for tracking the where the thief is moving, so that kind of thing. And of course, like, uh, these are the applications you use day in day out. And the famous one is, like, right now it's Cowin. And if you notice, Cowin didn't have this feature before. It was just you have to search by pin or district, and map was not enabled. And recently, like, they have enabled map. So the point I'm trying to make is, like, JS is getting into your or my life in a kind of inevitable way that forms a part and parcel of our life. Okay. So I think it's 6:45. Okay, so I need to rush up. So uh, coming to the actual point, like, what is it for civil engineers? So this was a recent article where they have given uh, they have given 1,000 applications of GIS in various industry. And if you this is roughly around, I have classified those applications into, say, 55 major topics. And if you look into this, almost all these are related to civil engineering. So it's real estate, hydrology, disaster, climate change, engineering, land use planning, soil surveying. So all these are related to civil engineering. And I have been able to work on many of these fields, and I have been able to relate myself. Like, I was able to feel that, okay, I'm a civil engineer by working uh, in these kind of fields. And yeah, so you don't fully understand your data until you see how it relates to other things. So that's what I told you. Uh, like I need to find a house, and I knew how to relate, okay, the house, finding house with geospatial technology, hence I used it, right? So that's the key, that's one of the key takeaway. So technology is there, it's there for everyone. Like, say, technology means computer science, like computer is there for everyone. Like, it's up to you the way you use. So you can just use it for playing PUBG, or you might use it for studies. So it's all up to you and how you use internet, laptop, the technology for your own career benefits. Yeah, so I'll skip this slide as of now, but yeah, if you're so interested, like you can just search for what 3 words. This is nothing but a recent upcoming JS technology where they have kind of split the whole world into 56 million pixels of 3 meter by 3 meter. So you don't even need to tell, okay, what my house address is. You have to just tell that, okay, it's what 3 words, what are the 3 words you're going to have for a unique address. So this is toddler geologist animated. So might be who knows in future, like you don't want to tell that, okay, I stay in this lane, this street, this location near to this area. You have to just tell the Swiggy guy that, okay, come to toddler geologist animated. That's it. The person will arrive. That's the technology which is going to happen. Yeah. But then, yeah, coming to the recent news. So what is it for civil engineers? So one of the major breakthrough, and I think this is the right time. This is the first time I am telling in any of the webinars that in GATE, geospatial is one of the subject. So earlier, like geospatial wasn't included, and people have to go through, say, civil engineering stream or through geology or environmental stream to get into any of the GIS courses. But now, like, this has become a mainstream subject, and this is just hardly a month old story, which has been pending for almost a decade. This is a good news. So you don't even need to like, you can give exams in geospatial field if you are so much interested on geospatial. Next thing is like DGCA, like civil aviation. So this is the government department. So for civil aviation, who have legalized the usage of drones, and they have even started giving license plates. So similar to our vehicles, like now you need to obtain licenses for flying drones, and there are various classifications of drones like mini, micro, small, large. So based on the weight and the height at which it is operated. And for drones, like you have got to get the tag ID, which is nothing but similar to your license plate. And this is becoming more and more legal. So this is a welcoming move for most of the geospatial people. And then, like, there are so many companies, like say Google has got Google Maps, and then like S3 has got its own maps. And recently, like, you might see Apple struggle to get a map on its own, but then like now there are opportunities, and especially it's happening in India, where a company has won the mega project of creating Apple Maps. So there are so many opportunities in that company also. And Amazon, like all these big players, are kind of somehow targeting into geospatial technology. So Amazon says that, okay, I'm going to release my own map, and I'm going to give all this location-based intelligence like route mapping, for, say, in case of Google Maps. So those kind of technology Amazon is also trying to give. So it's people are pumping money into this, and there is so much of scope for this geospatial field. I'll stop it here.